Hey everyone, okay, so today, there's that fly. Today we're going to be bronzing the face and really going for it. Now the things you'll need for this look are a bronzer, your favourite one, and I'll put a link in for some of my favourite bronzers, and a blusher. So let's make a start. Okay, so my skin is actually very fair. It comes across, I think, on camera a bit darker than it is. And what we want to do is increase the amount of tan we've got to our skin, the amount of pigment, but at the same time we don't want to go so dark that that it looks horrible or awful or that we're being disrespectful. That's not what we don't want. So we're going to start with the bronzing application. Now what we want to do is start off with an all over base. So I've got some foundation on, and what we want to do is start with a light coating of bronzer. So I'm going to use my brushes, obviously. And the first thing I'm going to do is just take a really big brush and I'm going to apply a coverage all over. But the coverage is really concentrated on the outside portion, and then I'm kind of bringing it in. And with this look, when you're darkening your face, if you've got any skin that's showing, all of that has to match too. So you've got to bring it all the way down. If your hair's up, you've got to go over your ears, behind your ears, all of those areas, so everything is covered. Now what I like to do, as many of you know, is to use a bright red blusher. This one is so old it's broken, but it's by NARS, it's Exhibit A, it's a universal shade. So I'm taking some product in here and I'm just going to knock it off on the broken mirror. Please go away, fly. Leave in peace. And I'm going to apply this where the sun actually hits you. So this is where the sun would cause the most amount of damage. Is across the bridge of the nose, the temples, and it just went in my ear and I can't kill it and it won't go out. And right on the top of the cheekbones. So right there. Without anything else on the brush, I'm just going to dust over these areas and then we'll move on. So we're going to move on. It doesn't matter if the blusher isn't completely blended in yet. So this is layer one and already it's a bit more tanned. So we're going to take it up a notch. So we're going to add a little bit more product, but this time we're going to concentrate the product more on the sides of the face. And we're going to try and leave some of the interior less tanned. So I'm working it all the way around that outside perimeter and again down onto the neck. Really bring the colour down. I mean, look at the difference in colour. So really bring the colour down so that it is a part of your skin. I have to wash this off in a minute. You know, I ain't going out looking tanned, spending all that money on sunscreen just to look tanned. Okay, so there's a general rule that if you really want to look tan, the best places to tan and to add that blusher are right here at the temple area and the bridge of the nose. Those areas, if you just add a little bit of bronzer, will make you look more tan than you looked before, just those few bits. So whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going to this is the blusher brush, I'm really just going into the hairline. And if you're very, very fair skinned, you know, truly the Snow Whites of the world, you're not going to ever want to tan because it's just going to look awful. But a bit of blusher along the hairline here looks really pretty, like you've been out kind of in winter and it's just heavenly. And then reintroduce the nose and reintroduce the cheek and then reintroduce and blend. So the interior portion of my face, which is this area here, is actually less tan than the rest. But now we're going to bring it in because we don't want there to be this guiding white light, you know, this beacon. Generally speaking, I could go one shade darker than this and it still look like I've been away on holiday. And I will for this tutorial. This is very bronze for me. And, you know, I'm quite happy with the color of my skin. You know, I'm not too dishappy with it, but I'm going to use a concentrated brush. Now this was my holiday brush from last year, I believe. Beautiful. It is the most stunning little brush. It will be making a comeback again. So what I'm going to do is concentrate the bronze right at the hairline and just work it along this area. Can you see how instantly darker that looks just by doing this? And I'm just going to bring it down. Now, I don't want to contour with this. It's very important we don't contour with this. So we're not trying to carve out cheekbones here. So I just want to, on the flat side, go over the entire cheekbone area, go over the bridge of the nose and over the chin. Now I can't leave it like that because it just looks mental. So in order to ease blending, when things get a bit too much, I'm going to use some translucent powder, and I'm just going to take that really big brush we used originally, and I'm going to use the translucent powder to just help kind of guide things along. So I'm dusting the translucent powder and I'm buffing over what we've just done. Now obviously the amount of product we're using, and even though my brushes are so soft, the vigorous nature of this means that it's really not the ideal solution for those of you with really dry skin, because you're going to micro exfoliate and you're not going to want that. But this translucent powder just helps to blend the edges. Ugh, greasy, greasy hair. If you wanted to be fancy about it, you could add a little bit of shimmer. Shall I? So I'll add a tiny amount of shimmer. Just, you know, why not? Why bloody not? You know, what 41-year-old man out there doesn't want to add a little bit of bloody shimmer to their face? I don't know any. Do you? No, of course you don't. So we're going to add a little tiny smattering of it. And right here, I mean, generally speaking, you know, bronze skin, it doesn't shimmer in real life. Tan skin doesn't shimmer, but it looks very pretty. Now I'm going to explain something to you really quickly. Shimmer is a wonderful thing. It highlights things, it's gorgeous. It doesn't always highlight the things we want to highlight. So can you see where I've highlighted here? Now I have an area here that isn't that flattering. There it is. And by highlighting it, I've made it stand out. Just bear that in mind. When you're highlighting stuff, don't highlight areas that you don't like. Generally speaking, for me, if I was to apply highlighter to my face to go out, which I really wouldn't because I don't give a shit, but if I did, it would be from here. It would be this area here. I wouldn't bring it where I did, which is here, because I'm highlighting an area that ain't that great. And I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but you can see it more highlighted here. So don't highlight things you don't like. But generally I would have stuck right in this kind of corner. But there you go. We've bronzed the skin to a degree where I look like I've been away or had a spray tan or just had a fight with orange paint, depending on how kind you are in your comments. And some of you are lovely. Some of you are not very nice at all. Naughty people. But there you go. That is how to bronze your skin so that it's appropriate for your skin tone, but also that you look beachy and gorgeous and rested and like you've been away on holiday and don't live in a room with flies, which is what I do. There you go. Thanks for watching. Really appreciated your time, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, and if any of you are noticing that, which was at the beginning, on Tuesday I stepped on a rake, and not even a comedy moment. I stepped on the rake and it smashed straight into the side of my head. And it bled like you wouldn't believe. And it was out, I'm not even kidding, it was like out there. It was huge, this bump. So yeah, don't stand on rakes. Thanks for watching, links down there, and I'll see you all next time. And thank you for putting up with me. Bye bye.